Hi guys, my name is Kathy Nycary and I'm a volunteer naturalist here at Bernheim. I know you guys are so excited to get back out here eventually, and we're excited to have you. But in the meantime, here's some things that you can do to connect with nature right where you're at. I bet you've all heard about sustainability, or at least heard the term. Whether it's the kind of car you drive and the kind of gas mileage it gets, or using reusable paper towels, cloth napkins, or taking your bag to the grocery store. All of these things are efforts in being sustainable, right down to bringing your own water bottle instead of buying plastic ones. We can all do our part. But what I want to talk to you today is about something you may not realize, and that's how you can eat sustainable. Did you know that eating local, sustainable foods is not only healthy for you, but it's healthy for the environment as well? So I want to show you some ways that you can be a sustainable eater. One of the first things you can do is eat seasonally. Right here in Kentucky right now, we're just beginning the peak of summer. But back in the spring, we had things like asparagus and peas, radishes, Bibb lettuce. Gosh, what a great salad that makes. Throw some fresh Kentucky strawberries on that. Oh man. So right now, we're heading into July, and you're gonna be seeing tomatoes and squash, zucchini as big as your arm, all sorts of fresh herbs and green beans, not to mention those great stone fruits like peaches and plums. We can all do things like eat local, which means grow it yourself, go to your local farmer's market, or even a you-pick farm. Talking about peaches, I remember going to pick peaches with my family not too far from here, and I remember having a peach in each hand and juice just running down my elbows. One of my best food memories ever. So I want to talk to you about how eating seasonally is really good for the environment. So like we said, we're in the middle of summer, so you've got all those wonderful vegetables just in bumper crops. But did you know that fall and winter are also good growing seasons here in Kentucky? You've got things like kale, which is a spring and a fall crop. You've got cabbages and potatoes and those wonderful winter squashes. All of those things can be bought at your local farmer's market, or even look at your grocery store for signs that say locally grown. Those are all very important steps. So once you have all of those seasonal harvests, comes to our next point, which is preserve the harvest. So I've got a couple of ways you can do that. One of my favorite ways, especially with fresh herbs, is just tie it in little bundles, hang it up. Gosh, that smells terrific. Or you can do things like freezing. What I like to do is put it on a cookie sheet, pop it into the freezer once it's all frozen. Then I like to bag it up and it stays nice and separated so you can have that goodness all year long. You may have even had time here lately to learn how to can. There's all kinds of videos on the internet where you can do things like your own sauerkraut, which I'm really proud of. Or even if you can't can it yourself, you can go to your local farmer's market and look for that Kentucky Proud label. All of those things are ways that we can be sustainable. So the third way that I like to think of is grow your own. Now you may not have a beautiful garden like we have here at Bernheim. You may be like me. I got this tiny little plot of ground, but I harvested this morning. Squash, kale, and fresh basil. Oh my gosh, there's nothing that smells any better than that. So even if you don't have but maybe a window box to start a fresh herb garden, you can plant something, you can grow something, and that's a great place to start. So, you know, we can all do our part to be more sustainable. And maybe next time we can talk about things like being regenerative, which goes beyond that. But that's a topic for our next video.